Right, welcome back. Last time we finished the war with the Mamluks and we're gonna grab the rest of Levant, the coastal Levant, and went to war with Spain and Naples for more territory in southern Italy. Yeah. Also, I've started converting provinces in Trichessia in the hopes of annexing them soon. Yep, they finished the cultural conversion of that province, and I'm working on the conversion of their own provinces away from Islam towards Orthodox Christianity. Because if I have to pick between wrong religion and wrong culture, well, obviously I would actually pick wrong religion because then I could convert the provinces, but I only have so many accepted culture slots. And religious conversion is way easier than cultural conversion. Right. Of course, there are some issues that I'm dealing with right now, specifically the fact that the sheer quantity of territory that I've acquired, specifically Dav, in southern Italy, it means that the next uprising will contain 46,000 troops. Sure, it's almost certainly going to spread out, but I'm going to need all the troops I can get for that eventual rebellion, so yeah, I'm not looking forward to needing to deal with that. Right. Grab tech, politics, and let's just ignore Botani Persia for a minute. Seriously. It's starting to look like we're not going to get the Mughals. We're going to get the reverse Mughals in this timeline. Right, Petition of Right, that's a new idea group. The Board of Admiralty. Global Naval Engagement with plus 5%, Naval Morale plus 0.5, and Paper Cartridges, Land Morale plus 0.1, Cavalry Fire plus 0.14, Infantry Fire plus 0.15. Right, so I've got a new idea group to grab. Which might be best done as a military idea group. On the one hand, colonialism ideas, the main reason why I'm getting them is for this. And most of the buffs are honestly kind of useless for me at the moment. I'm mainly getting it so that when I get culture ideas, I can get it as soon as possible. Culture ideas are going to be the next couple idea groups, specifically when 4-field system happens, I think. On the other hand, I already have 3 military idea groups. I'm missing an admin idea group. Yeah, if I go colonialism, then I can do culture ideas immediately after. And get those buffs that I'm looking for early. Yeah, why not? I don't need to spend anything on it. Well, how much does this idea cost? 233 times 7. Oh, I could grab all of them now, almost certainly. Yes, absolutely. I won't have enough of next tech right now, but that's a decrease by 400 points to 328. And that's before the idea groups, each idea reduces the cost by 3 points. So, preliminary expeditions. A ship or two in advance of sending an actual fleet can assess risks, scout the landscape, chart a decent course, and, if need be, establish a beachhead. Greatly increased expedition success chance. Okay, that one's actually pretty useful. Movement speed on and off ships plus 10%, Navy tradition from protecting trade plus 10%. Those both are actually useful to me. For colonists, not so much. Colonial Office. A proper commitment to establishing colonies warrants the advancement of dedicated administrators to see and promote the development of sponsored colonies. Plus 4 colonists. I can't even use one of them. Anyway, preventative measures. Disease, natives, weather, foreign espionage, natural disasters, idiocy. We can't stop them all, but we can sure as hell try. Settler chance plus 15%. Migratory propaganda. Open pastures, dense woodland, rich veins of ore, and fresh water freely flowing. Come one, come all, to the colonies. Global settler increase plus 15. Mercantilist tendencies. A colonial domain is one which is both foreign and domestic simultaneously. There is a temptation to jealously guard the fruits of virgin lands. Domestic trade power is plus 20%. That's a really good one. Especially when it comes to trade companies. That will significantly boost... Wait, no, that's domestic. It would be provincial trade power. Domestic trade power hits provinces that aren't considered overseas, which would be pretty much the core heartland. Which is also where I get most of my trade, so... Commercial lifeline. A colony's relationship with the motherland is compromised of two factors. Compromised? I would say comprised would be a better word for that. Comprised of two factors, economics and politics. While the politics can shift dramatically, the fact is that only the greatest, best established settlements can survive outside the commercial environment of their homeland. That's what we tell them anyway. Merchants from trade centers plus 25%. That's going to get me another merchant or two. Maybe 3. Trade range plus 10%. Depends on how much the buff is for trade ideas. Oh, it's plus 40%. Oh, yeesh. So my merchant count should be around 9, actually. So yeah, that's 2 more merchants. Okay. Imperial precedent. What makes the natives deserving of our overlordship? That is not true of anyone. Province war score cost minus 10%. Woo. Plus 10% trade steering and plus 0.5 merchant trade power. And once I get cultural ideas, a culturalization program will become unlocked. Anyway. I still have to do internal politics. The nobles still have far too much influence, though it is steadily decreasing, thankfully. Ah, right. Most of the stuff expires on around the 8th or the 10th. I don't quite remember which. 10th, okay. Nah, not interested. Promote the aristocrat faction in order to prove their loyalty. Arrange a strategic marriage. Yield concessions to ancient liberties. Yeah, that stuff is on the 5-year years. You know, you can drill here until the rebellion actually happens, then I can ship you over real quickly. Yeah, that's a good point to stop. Yeah, once I've done the stuff, the internal politics. Just gotta wait till the 10th. There we go. Yeah, I think there's enough loyalty for me to pull some stuff here. Oh, consolidated holdings. That's right. That's a massive source. Okay. Promote prominent landlords to aristocrats. 50 loyalty. Yeesh. But I've got enough loyalty and I'll be able to gain some back. Tenant abuse. I can... Just an unpopular relative. I've got maxed out legitimacy. Arrange a strategic marriage. There we go. 58 loyalty. Still pretty good. Right, promote and support commerce. And perform a show of devotion. The clergy actually have more than 50 loyalty now. Amazing. I might pass a reform at some point. I'll do commerce law reform at some point. So, teched up. From that I got a new idea group. Colonialism ideas. So I've got reduced province war score cost. Lots of extra merchants. My merchants are more powerful and I get better trade steering. And where is it? Where is it? Plus 25% merchants from trade centers. Combined with the plus 40% from trade law, from trade ideas, it's plus 65%. Which is why I have 15 merchants now. I'm guessing I'm supposed to get 9 or so. Maybe 8. I've also finished converting Cherkessia's provinces for them. They're now orthodox enough. Same with Kartvelia, but Kartvelia did it themselves, so that's good of them. So I'm in the process of annexing them. I've also been dragged into multiple wars, which is great, and I've been dealing with rebels pretty successfully, at least. At least I can say that. I'm also around at the point where I can start rolling as many generals as I want without real repercussions. I just have so many mill points. Right. I've also started expeditions into Arabia since I've couldn't find opportunities on the Indian Ocean for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why, but oh well. Because I started continuously hitting my own spots. I'm not at the point yet where I can get a merchant, but it's at 6.6%. With some development, especially of this province in particular, we can get it done. Of course, getting the labor required for the amenities is taking a while. But residents are migrating in, so... just give it time. That's all it needs. Once there's enough residents, no communication efficiency. I mean, the current path of transit involves going through unexplored territory around most of Africa. The only bits I don't have to go through are the Red Sea and the Horn, pretty much. Yeah, that's why communication's so bad. So it's perfectly fine to leave it in a trade company. I mean, maxed out autonomy is not going to cause much difference. Yeah, there's no way I can make this any better. Really, no way. At least since there's a trade company, it's not going to have much unrest. Yeah. Minus 25, so I can safely ignore it. Because again, part of a trade company. I've scattered the merchants about a bit. It was 2 new merchants, so I sent one to collect over here in the Zanj node, so now I have 10% of the node. I'm getting some money out of it. No transfer bonus due to merchant collecting in Zanj. That might actually lower my trade income. This might be the difference between 66%. I don't think it's... I think it's fine, though, for now. So yeah, I sent one to the Zanj node to connect these provinces up to my trade network. Which I believe is the case now. At the very least, the prices shouldn't be completely different. They'll be different for sure. But they're going to be more closely aligned to the homeland. Yeah, the price of exotics is going up, and the price of delicacies is going down. I also sent one to... wow. Which one? The Arabian Gulf, yes. So, yeah. Got a trade network across, well, the entirety of Persia, pretty much, as well as the inside the Volga itself. Trade connections everywhere. Don't have anything in the upper Danube, but that can be handled later. Oh, and as for geopolitics, the final League War has been gone through. Austria now controls a good portion of Pomerania. Yeah, fun. Sweden's back with 1 province. Amazing. Burgundy's name is now over here. Because Denmark's back too, with not one province, 5 provinces. And most of it is Scania. Scotland's new. I guess they got their independence from, yeah, separatists, and England's trying to get it back. Oh, and we have a sort of reverse Mughals going on, with Multan conquering a good portion of Persia. A very good portion. Although they've got many, well, subjects that are very disloyal. You gotta annex some of your feudatories, specifically start annexing Hindustan. And then start improving relations with Sind to get their liberty desire down and annex them. Yeah. Fun stuff. Not really much else to say. Stability's great, state reach is suitably high. There's little room for further reform. It's mainly the 10-year rotation here, which is could be costly in loyalty, and the depoliticization of the civil service, which would be extremely helpful. It's not costly in loyalty, it's just going to take a lot of influence. It probably would be a good idea to do it at the same time as the 10-year rotation. It's really costly in relations. And the 10-year rotation does reduce other qualities, but, well, it does improve provincial corruption. Does it reduce some stuff? Depoliticizing the civil service does help with increasing bureaucratic influence, though. I believe that's also the final level, so both of those. I mean, regional tenure just has 2 states, 0 and 1. Politicization goes all the way to 3. In theory, I should get worse stability from this, but in general, I don't see the difference. And I don't know if I can tell the difference anyway. Institutions, well, global trade. Still working on that one. I'm going to need to set up a good province in Africa. Well, down here, basically. I need to turn this province into a trade center, for lack of a better term. It's the best spot for that. The other locations are decent, but most of them are just islands. This, however, has an excellent harbor. Major harbor, important location. Which means it's going to be very easy to turn that spot into a massive, massive trade center. This has a minor location effect. This one has minor location and harbor effects. It's very simply the best spot on Madagascar. Off of Madagascar, well, this province is probably the best one. Yeah, location major and harbor effects major. But I would know this region pretty well. Killwall campaign. Yeah. I gotta do one of those in my spare time at some point. Then again, I haven't played EU4 in my spare time in ages. Muscovy is no longer allied with me for reasons. Kiev decided to vassalize, Kiev decided to vassalize Kirim. Kirim came back from Yochiolus to either separatists or release. Probably separatists since I still have their cores there. Yeah. Fun stuff. I may decide to ally them. If I haven't mentioned yet, I'm top rank great power. Probably because I embraced an institution, specifically the scientific methods. Yeah, global trade's gonna take forever. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to manage to set it up. At the very least, other countries are probably better situated. I figure Castile and Portugal are probably best situated at the moment, so they have the Americas. Oh, actually, they have the Americas, Europe, and some of West Africa. I'm not sure if they actually have any provinces that have been developed well enough for that. How much trade value is needed in the provinces? Trade value at least 2. How do you even measure trade value? It's 0.7, 0.7, 0.5, 0.5, 0.6. There might be better stuff that they've conquered here, because this looks a lot like conquered provinces. Yeah. Then there's Indonesia, which Portugal seems to be the only country with serious... Okay, so Castile has a couple provinces here, but I'm sure they're not actually all that well developed. Portugal's provinces here don't seem to be all that well developed. Oh, that's enough, I think. 0.7, yeah, no, you need 2. You need 2 trade value. And we're not seeing a province with that. 0.9 seems to be the best that Portugal has managed. Within Southeast Asia, yeah. I haven't even managed 2 here. So 0.8 and 0.9 is better than anything Portugal's managed. Obviously, I have an idea of what I'm doing. It's still gonna take some effort. Plus, if I focus the investment there, I'll get a lot of trade power, and with enough trade power, I'll get a bonus merchant, thanks to trade companies. Which means it's no longer, taking up space. Yep, the East Africa Charter. What's funny is that the Arabia Charter includes a good portion of Inner Arabia. And again, Iraq is entirely untouched. It's a bit strange. Well, that does mean I can put these provinces into trade companies, in theory. And I question if I'm capable of doing so when I'm directly adjacent to them. That's something I can worry about some other time. In the future. Right. I've gone on long enough for sure. Pretty sure the session's over 2.5 hours now. Yeah. I'll see you again next time. Until then, bye. Yeah, it's over 2.5 hours. By about 20 seconds. Yikes.